Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 14, verse 26, and this is the second last verse, I believe, if I remember correctly, of this chapter. So we're just about getting over with it. He's about wrapping up, and he talks about Bhakti Yoga again very clearly in very clear terms. So let us sing the verse together. Let us call out to Krishna, do our prayer, and then sing the verse together. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us understand this verse. Please help us transcend the modes of material nature. Please help us be your bhaktas. Please help us remember you in everything. Please help us be obsessed about you instead of being obsessed about anything else like money or food or people, other people. Please help us remove all of our material addictions and material desires, and please help us just want you. So I've been memorizing the Shikshashtakam lately, and the verses are so good. Verse 6 and 7, both of them, oh, they're so good. I would highly recommend you look at the translations. Memorizing means understanding word by word meaning as well, because otherwise I can't memorize. So yeah, do that. It's so good. Okay, so let us sing the verse. मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समेतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and comes to the level of Brahman. So Bhakti Yogena, he's saying devotional service very, very clearly here. And so this is a reply to Arjun's third question. What is the meaning of attaining transcendental position? How do we do that? What is the means? Like, how do we get there? And what he's saying is that we need to do Bhakti Yoga. So we need to talk about always acting for Krishna and his plenary expansions. And then somewhere in chapter 7, it's already been explained also, that if we engage ourselves in the service of Krishna with unfailing determination, although the modes of material nature are difficult to overcome, one can overcome them easily. I want to know which verse in chapter 7, I don't remember, but I remember chapter 7 is just the best chapter ever, so I want to learn chapter 7, pretty much the whole chapter 7. The Lord says that his nature is eternal and blissful and full of knowledge, and so we are basically meant to serve him. So that he says that here he's talking about nirguna. Nirguna means without qualities. Guna, but God has qualities. He has infinite qualities, right? But he is beyond, his qualities are beyond material nature. Therefore, he's nirguna because he's beyond the three modes of material nature. So it's not that he's nirguna means he has no gunas. He has lots of gunas, but in divine gunas. He has spiritual gunas, not material gunas. So he's called nirguna. And that's what we want to also become, is we want to be untouched by the three modes, just like Sri Krishna is nirguna, with the help of Bhakti Yoga, by fixing our mind on Bhagwan Shri Krishna. So wherever the scriptures refer to God as nirguna, it means without material attributes, but his divine personality has infinite divine attributes. Okay, and let's read the Bhakti Vinod Thakur one as well. Your third question is, how does he remain beyond the three modes? How? What is the means? How do we attain this? The answer to this is that through constant practice of Bhakti Yoga. In other words, by always serving me through pure knowledge and actions whose objective is pure Bhakti, he achieves Brahma Bhav, or similarity to me. Brahma he is talking about. He achieves Brahman. He becomes Brahman. He comes to the level of Brahman, and what he's translating here is, comes to the level of Brahman. Brahma Bhuyaya, level of Brahman. Okay, So that's it for this verse. We'll do chapter 14, verse 27 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots of Krishna's grace. Radhe Radhe.